Okay, I've been asked to talk on the subject of exorcism and basically what exorcism is all about and what I make of it. I mean, how is it that people can speak in all kinds of strange languages that they weren't educated in the first place when they're possessed? Uh, I think I'd have to be so bold as to say how good was the diagnosis. I mean, I have a health history. I've been to doctors before. They've misdiagnosed me and given me the wrong treatments and the wrong medicines for all sorts of things. So if we talk about someone who spent, 7 years in university, has got letters after their name, and has built up a great reputation in the medical profession, making mistakes in a diagnosis about something which isn't a subject he should know about, then basically, what about the people who jump to conclusions that a person is or is not possessed? I mean, what's happening under those circumstances? Is there a possibility for a wrongful diagnosis? To which I'd have to say once in a while, yeah, there's a possibility of that. Was the person truly possessed? Were they truly speaking in the languages of the things which they haven't actually known about, or did they have the ability or capacity in a normal state to actually research the language and then to mimic something which they heard from folklore? I mean, these things are possible. There's lots of questions about it. I mean, does the exorcism ritual actually work? I mean, in some cases, the psychological power of something can in fact have a very strong either placebo effect or psychological effect on both body and mind. And if you think about it, in ancient times, the only alleged science was essentially just spirituality and just religion. I mean, that's all it was. And it was only defined by a minority to a very poorly educated populace. Okay, so essentially, what was really going on there? The understanding of the way the world works was dominated by beliefs in demons, angels, spirits, and all the rest of that. Just belief in demons, angels, and spirits, not science and nanotechnology, DNA analysis, stem cells, even bacterial organisms. I mean, spontaneous generation had to be disproven in front of the Pope, if you think about it, okay? So way back in the day, the placebo effect of a strongly religious or spiritual ceremony would have been much stronger than it is today. Now, I'm not against the placebo effect. I think the placebo effect is wonderful. If anyone can generate a placebo type effect and use it to help themselves to overcome something, whether it's just depression, well, I say just depression, okay, whether it's depression, anxiety, fear, neurosis, or indeed a more serious health problem like a viral infection or even a broken bone, then basically do it. And I'm firmly of the belief that, if the placebo effect is real, then we should all be learning new ways of doing the placebo effect on ourselves for the purposes of mental health and physical health improvements. But also, what if there is an actual spiritual side to it as well? What if we're actually talking about the manipulation of energy and consciousness, and whether it's an electromagnetic energy force which is surrounding people, or whether it's a form of, I don't know, dark matter or antimatter that we can't properly sense with modern technology? Who knows? I mean, from these strange experiences I've had, I am of the opinion that there is more to life than just the physical. I mean, the physical is complex. The physical needs to be studied. There's nothing wrong with science. Science is a wonderful thing. The thinking which goes into the various different disciplines of science has provided us with an awful lot of great positives. But what if there's more to the natural world than we currently know? I mean, if you think about it, today we've had the IPCC report out on climate change, which basically says, duh, climate change is happening and we're causing it, like we didn't already know. But the fact of the matter is, people have had to have that proven to them, and even scientists have had to have that proven to them, okay? Is there anything else in the world that people need to have proven to them? Yeah, well, in my opinion, yes, but these things have to be understood. You've got to get more knowledge together to be able to make a rational and intelligent decision as to how we can use it. Now, this is why I've been spending so much of my time trying to, I suppose, undermine and derail some of the what I call literalist spiritualist interpretations, because like we're in the 21st century now. And we've all got to grow up and realize that yes, we're in the 21st century now. That's a fact. Okay? And that means that we've got to do things right and we've got to think right about things. Now, I'm showing you all these wonderful Ouija boards. These are my new toys. They're just laminates, which I bought off eBay, with some very traditional Ouija board type symbols and images on them. That one's got a kind of like a circus impression with these gypsy fortune tellery type performery ladies there. That one's got a map of New York City and Brooklyn on it. This one down here has got a very, very faded map of old London town, the way it used to be God knows how many years ago. And I think this one's just a classic Ouija board, and I may be using these on the run up to Halloween because that would be fun anyway. But I'm showing you these now because they do fit in with the subject. Because these things, which are just, let me just show you this, it's just, you know, a piece of paper or cardboard with letters on it, alright? These things have terrified people because they believe too heavily in the spiritualist, literalist interpretation, which has basically been undermining the potential for science to actually look into anything else out of the physical. Which pisses me off. And it pisses me off because there's things for us to learn. There's things for us to know about. You know, I mean, we're in a wonderful, wondrous universe with tons of stuff in it, and there's tons of stuff that we don't know about. And the things which happen to me, there's no scientific research about. Alright? So we've got to carry on asking questions, carry on asking questions. I can't say this enough, and I'm probably going to carry on saying it till the day I freaking die. You know, we just got to carry on asking questions. We don't have any hard and fast answers, and we need to experiment, to explore, to see what happens, and criticize our own interpretations of what's happened, so that we can come closer to the truth eventually, and to undermine the purely myopic or short-sighted spiritualist interpretation of stuff. Because that's the best way of doing things, in my opinion.